Hello, welcome, Happy New Year. Today is January 1st, 2022. I'm feeling a little under the weather. Excuse me, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. So my husband and my son went to church tonight to Vespers. I stayed home, obviously, and I also stayed home this morning. We had a liturgy for St. Basil and the circumcision of the Lord, and I did not go. I didn't go last night either. I kind of have been a bit of a little bit of a hermit, I guess, the last couple of days. One, like I said, I haven't felt very good, and also it's just been very cold here. It's started snowing, I think, Christmas Eve day, and it pretty much just kept snowing through Christmas and even into Sunday, and then it snowed in little spurts here and there. So yeah, I just figured my husband and son, while they're gone right now, I would go ahead and do a little video real quick. Kind of looking a mess right now, but whatever. So a lot has happened since I posted a video last time. So I started this channel. I feel weird saying that, but I started YouTube back in, I want to say it was in April. Also, this is a very bad angle, I feel like, but maybe I'm just being worldly. Let's see. Maybe that's a little better. I don't know. It probably just shows more of my messy house. Who cares? Me, apparently. I apparently care. Anyway, I started this because back in April, I think I was applying for a job. And part of the audition, application, interview process, they called it an audition, but part of the interview process was video. And like a video bio. And so I made the video. I am not technologically, or rather I am technologically challenged. And so I didn't really think about it at the time, but I didn't know how to get a video to my eventual employer sorry, I'm just very distracted by myself. Like I said, I have not gotten ready all day. Anyway, I did not know how to get the video to my employer unless I uploaded it to YouTube and then just set the link. I didn't know how to because the video was too long to just send via email in and of itself, and so I just didn't. Anyway, so I was like, the easiest thing for me to do is just upload it to YouTube. So that's what I did, and I had been kind of thinking about making videos for a while, just for my own fun, like, you know, if anyone ever found them and was interested in them, cool, but it wasn't ever I had no intention of ever regularly, excuse me, not that I didn't want to be regular in terms of putting content in or whatever. I even hate calling it content, but you know what I mean. The point is, I never wanted to like make money. I never saw it as that. To me, it was just totally a fun little outlet, whatever. And I had made videos several years ago, about 7 years ago. I put up a few videos that were creative writing related. Back in 2015 and into early 2016, I made some videos for NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. On a different channel, and that channel is no longer there, I don't believe. So anyway, I don't have those anymore, but I hadn't put videos up in like 7-8 years, and prior to that, those were the first videos I'd ever put up. So I just thought it would be fun to do videos, you know, about kind of whatever strikes me fancy, whether it was homemaking, orthodoxy, planning, creativity, that kind of thing. I just like it. I like videos like that, so I was like, maybe I'll make a few videos like that myself. Anyway, all that to say, I got the job that I made a video for, or that I did the video for. I think that's the first video on this channel, which I may keep up, I may not, I'm not sure, because I got that job I got the job in May. I interviewed in April and I was offered the job in May and my contract began in July. So I've basically been being paid. I've been paid for July through December. And I started, it was a school. My son, we had every intention of homeschooling our son. But when this opportunity came up, it was a kind of an alternative to public school. It was like a Montessori, Socratic school. It was called Acton Academy. They're around the country, I guess. But, so I got the job and everything was great at first. And, I loved the people I worked with. That was fine. That was great. But after, I would say late October, we went to a monastery, back east, in October. And after coming back, I had a really hard time returning to work. I should say too, there were some issues I had with it from the very beginning before my contract even started. There were little things that I wasn't fully on board with. Nothing crazy, but just the best way I can describe it is we are coming out of a very Protestant Western culture. And we're always going to be Western. There's always, we're born and raised in the West. Like, we will always have elements of our culture that are rooted in Westernism. But we, after having converted to Orthodoxy, really want to adopt more of an Orthodox mindset, an Eastern mentality and an Eastern way of viewing things. And we want our son to have that as well. And we want to embrace aspects of our Western culture, of course. But we also want to balance that with more of an Eastern worldview and an Eastern, not an Eastern worldview, an Orthodox worldview, of course, but an Eastern mind, I guess, an Eastern way of seeing things. And it is Acton Academy it's not for everybody, and they had said that from the beginning, and I knew that from the beginning. And we knew early on it was not going to be a forever thing for us. We knew that. But I will say, after a few months, I really started struggling. After we got back from the monastery, I really started, a lot of the issues I did have with it that I was kind of able to sweep under the rug a bit, like kind of just keep in the back of my mind, because it wasn't like it was teaching anything bad. It wasn't anything like that. But for me, it wasn't a good fit for me, and it was very good for my son in some capacities. It was not in others. And the more I was there, the more I just felt like, I don't think this is the right. It was a great entry back into working. I had not worked for about 8 years since I'd gotten pregnant with even a little bit before I got pregnant with my son, because I was just a student at the time with my husband worked, and I was just a full-time student. And then I got pregnant, and we were going to move back home to Idaho from Oklahoma, so we were there for school, and so we just did it. There was no reason for me to get a job, because I knew once I had a baby I wasn't going to work. So I hadn't worked since before getting pregnant, and I had just been a housewife and then a stay-at-home mom. So this was my first real. There was one time I did a little bit of freelancing at one point, and I did a little bit of I did have a brief stint doing something, but it was like, when I say brief stint, it was like 3 weeks. It was not, and then we got COVID, and none of it kind of all fell through. So that was a very brief thing, but really we had no intentions at the time I got this job of me getting a job. It just happened to work out. A lot of things were going on at the time, and it just worked out really well, and it was perfect, and it was a great way back into, it was the perfect job for me to re-enter the workforce. Like, it was great. The schedule was awesome. I loved my boss and my coworker. I loved the kids I was with. It really was great. And my son was there. Like, that was the perfect thing. I was on the same schedule as him. I wasn't his teacher, but he was in the classroom next to me, and it was a very small school. So because it was our first year. opened here in this area. So it was a great experience on so many levels. It just wasn't the best fit for me, or we felt, my husband and I felt, for our son and our family. So I started speaking with my boss about, let's see, now it's been it's the end of the Christmas break. So 4 weeks ago, and I won't go into the whole story, but I kind of, without planning to, shared some of my struggles with my boss, and she was really great and understanding and left a lot of it up to me. And we kind of decided it would be a working 2-week notice, because we just both felt like if it wasn't going to be the right fit, there were 2 weeks left until the Christmas break, and we just both felt like that was the perfect stopping point. We felt like it was the perfect stopping point if I was going to back away. And so it was great. I took about those 2 weeks to really think about it. I talked with my husband, I prayed, I visited with my priest, of course, and just felt like it was the right time. And so I shared that with my boss, and I should say, my son, backtracking on everything I just said, what we did not want to do was take, my son really enjoyed he's an only child right now, not by our choice, it has not been the Lord's will for us to have another child. Not yet anyway. We're hoping and praying that eventually it is his will that we would one day have another child, whether biologically, through adoption, foster care, we're open, but at this point we only have one child. And he loves, he's always been a social kid. We're social people, we're homebodies, but we've always valued community. He's always, that was my chair, by the way. I'm not just making strange noises. My son, we did not want, my boss was great, and she said that if we wanted to keep him there, she would continue to let me have the half-price tuition for the rest of the school year. And so we told our son, my husband was also in the process of changing up his job a little bit. He's been an independent contractor and was waiting to kind of find out about the budget with regards to whether or not he could become a full-time employee with the company he was working with. And so we told my son, it is, he's 7, so we didn't go into a lot of detail, of course, but we shared there's always a possibility we cannot afford to still send you to school. That being said, we will do what we can if you want to finish out the school year at school, because even though there were things that we weren't fully on board with, he's 7. He really enjoyed his class, his peers, and he doesn't have siblings, so it is a good outlet for him. And his teacher was just, we've become genuine friends. Like, she's awesome. So we wanted him to be kind of part of the decision making. Again, he's 7, and we realized that, and ultimately at the end of the day, it was going to be a financial decision, really. But we also wanted to make sure that he was choosing what he wanted to do. Obviously, we believe with that with an asterisk. I mean, we're still his parents, but and we're going to have the final say. But we didn't want to just pull him away from something if it really was what he wanted to do, and because he was doing really well. So we decided, long story short, this is already way too long. How long have I been talking? Almost 15 minutes. Cool. So much longer than I meant this to be. We decided that we decided that we wanted him to kind of decide. And we told him that we would give him through Christmas break, really. And my boss was really relaxed. She's like, just let us know what you end up doing. And so we kind of, we talked with him about a little bit. We shared the pros and cons, and he just, we would ask him, what are you thinking, every now and then? And he'd be like, I'm not sure yet. He even said, like, once he was leaning towards homeschool, but he wasn't sure. And because he felt like he might miss his friends and all of that. And so he thought about it for a couple of days, about a week and a half. And then the week of Christmas, a couple days before Christmas, We didn't even ask him. My mom was talking to him, and he shared with my mom that he wanted to do homeschool, that he decided he wanted to stay at home. So, which we were hoping he would, and we kind of figured he probably would, but even so, it just made everything a lot easier. So let my boss and his teacher know. They kind of figured that's what we would end up doing. And it was all really good. So we're starting all of that story is I am now back home. And it's funny how going 8 years not working outside of the home, and sorry, if the lighting is changing, it's evening time. You know, not working outside of the home for like 8 years, you would think that only working 6 months would be an easy transition back to being home. And granted, it was the Christmas break, so it was already like mentally, I already was in like Christmas break mode. I wasn't full on in like I'm a homemaker and a homeschool mom again, just because I was kind of in Christmas break mode, because I had been working out of school and we were gearing up for Christmas break. So that was on, in my mind. So trying to, and really I should say, it was only a week and a half ago that my son officially said he wanted to do homeschool. So I've had about a week and a half to, like, I should show you it's a disaster. Like this is all stuff, old homeschool stuff, a bunch of old binders and a bunch of stuff that I have just been, and there's our homeschool cart. Like I have just, my house is a mess because it was Christmas and I was a couple days before Christmas, we knew like 100% we were doing homeschool again. And then it was Christmas, and so this whole week has just been like, I've been wanting to get the house clean and ready, but I have just been on curriculum kick, trying to figure out a schedule, trying to get back in the zone after Christmas, as well as gearing up to be a homemaker again, and like a full-time homemaker again. And I'm amazed at, on one level, how much I kind of forgot. not forgot, but just, I don't know. It's been kind of a challenge to kind of get back in the mindset of like, I'm being home again. So that is something that we are just jumping right into on Monday. No, I messed this up. That we are just jumping right back into on Monday. So that is good. We're excited. I'm very excited to be home again. To be honest, I do think I mentally would have been having a lot of anxiety if I was going back to work on Monday. Not because the job itself caused me anxiety, but because we knew I needed to be home, and we just knew it was the better fit for our family, and it was just time. And so, yeah. And on top of all of that, planning, trying to create a plan, or trying to figure out a planning system all of a sudden. I've talked about this in like little blips throughout, and I'll try to wrap this up real quick. But so I know part of my videos at the beginning, I was going to do like, I had like an A5, 6-ring planner from like Hobby Lobby, like the Agenda 52. I had that for a while when I was working, and that worked pretty well. I did really like it. I feel like I did a flip through of it. Maybe I didn't. I don't know if I ever did actually a flip through of it. But that's what I had, and I really loved that, and it was great. And then I was just trying to figure out a system, and especially once I knew then I made my own planner that I also don't think I ever showed, and I don't even think I have it out here anymore. One day maybe I'll show that too, but I made my own planner like on Canva and had it printed and bound at a local print shop, and it was like a classic Happy Planner size, but it was like coil bound, like cheap ring bound or whatever. Not ring bound, but cheap, like the plastic black coil that you just get for like $2 or whatever at a printing shop. And I loved that because it was a daily planner. Because one thing is, I've been a paper planner my whole life, but I've been creatively planning since like 2016. And I had gotten I know I've mentioned this before, I've gotten very tired of the consumer aspect of that community. And not that I was a part of that community or anything, like the planner community on YouTube or anything, but I was really into it. And it's just so much, so many releases, and so like I had a traveler's notebook for a while, and I loved that. I always tend to kind of go back to that, but I also think that I'm not in that season of life right now, so it hasn't really worked out for me very well when I have tried to go back to it. But I love a traveler's notebook, and that was the first one I ever got that was like more of a creative planner, I guess. And it's not even a creative planner, but you know what I mean. Hopefully, because I don't always make a lot of sense. And then I had the Happy Planner for like a year and a half, and I loved it. For that season of my life, it was my creative outlet. It is not how I like to plan though, and it is there's so much. It's too much. I can't really archive it. I don't like the disc bound for archival purpose. Like I like to keep my journals and things like that. And on top of everything, I'm not saying that Orthodox people cannot plan weeks in advance, but for me, I was just at a point where I know I've kind of talked about this too. I just want to simply sojourn. I don't want to live focused on the past or the future. I really want to just live. Today is literally all I have. And I want to live my life one day at a time as best as I can, or to the best of my ability. Because obviously, you know, you have to schedule things. You have to plan, you know, appointments and doctor's appointment, whatever. So I'm not saying I don't plan ahead in that sense. But in terms of just every day, even all this stuff, I've been very overwhelmed this week. All this stuff for homeschool, it's just so unnecessary to me. It's so unnecessary. It's just so much. And I don't like it. I don't like having clutter. I like a cozy clutter. Like I like a lived-in home, but I don't like all this stuff that I've just accumulated over the years, whether it's office supplies or planner products or whatever. It's too much. It's unnecessary, and it's just, I don't know, it's wasteful on one level. It's just, it goes unused a lot of the time. I just don't need it. So all of that to say, that has also been a struggle, because I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be homeschooling, there's a level where, yes, I need to, for my own sanity, feel like I at least have a plan in place for the remainder of his first grade year. But I also believe in doing our very best to live one day at a time, because that's all the Lord has given us. And that includes homeschooling. I mean, it's, you know, we already don't have the same views on education and stuff like that as, you know, just mainstream whatever. And so on top of that, we've got orthodoxy too, and we just view our life and life in general differently now than we used to, and it just doesn't make sense to have these big elaborate plans. And we also want to, again, not that I make them, but you know, I'm not that much of a type A personality either. I don't need to plan out everything. I really like kind of more go with the flow. I like a little bit, I need structure, but I need go with the flow too. I need both to function well. And so all of that to say, I briefly considered going back to the Happy Planner, but making my own inserts, because no inserts, I didn't want, I hate to use these kind of like buzzwords, but I don't like the toxic positivity of the Happy Planner, nor do I like their extreme consumerist, it's just so many releases, so much stuff. I like their sticker books every now and then and stuff, but it's just too much, and I just didn't want all of that. I admit I did get some discs when they were half off for Christmas because I printed out some planner printables for myself. And the truth is, I really liked the setup. And I even thought maybe on my blog, Simply Sojourning, I might share my printables for free just because they're really simple, basic, undated, orthodox geared printables. So I might share those, but I mean, I didn't like it. I could not handle the discs again. I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this when it's done? I don't like it. And so all of this to say, the most successful planner that I have had, not only this year, but in probably a very long time, since I was probably and again, I've been paper planning since middle school. So, the most successful planner I think I've ever had that I actually fully finished the whole planner was this one from the spring of 2021. And I made it myself. It's and I don't mean that in like a bragging way. All it is a mixed media notebook, or mixed media, I can't think of the brand, but they're the ones with the blue cover, and you just get them at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or wherever. And I just got one, and I like decorated the front. I made it for spring. And sorry, the lighting is just really bad because there is no lighting. I made it for so I painted the front with acrylic paint. I put some stickers, and then I did this quote from Saint Ephrem, and I don't have my glasses on now, but do not lose heart, there is hope, and it is Christ. And I got some paint splatter on, and I loved it. I put some stickers, like I said, labeled it Spring 2021. I Mod Podged it after the fact. There's the back. Kind of had a little theme for the cover. And then on the inside, a receipt, cool. On the inside, I like put my name in it. I put this little pocket had some little paper things. These were the months that I was able to fit in here. So I believe it was the second week of February, maybe it was even the first week of February. Let me check. I don't remember. February 14th. Okay, so I started it on Valentine's Day 2021. And it took me all the way through the end of May 2021. All the way through Lent and Pascha. And I not only finished it all the way through, you can see like I have that's the back cover with another little pocket. But so my last entry was the end of, was May. Oh, I'm sorry. That is something else. Those were notes that I had. Oh, and look, this is when I was starting my job at Acton. I was getting prepared. And so this took me through getting through May 23rd. It looks like was my last May 16th. Yeah, May 23rd. It took me through May. That's the whole point I'm trying to make, is it took me through May. And then I got my job in May. I found out I had gotten the job. And so so I knew I was going to have to plan differently because I was going to be a working mom and a teacher, sort of. They don't call them teachers. But anyway, I knew I was going to have a job, and I wasn't going to be at home anymore. So I needed to plan. I felt like I needed to plan differently than this. And I have not had a successful planner all year since this one. This one got me through 4 months. And like I said, I love it. I decorated. Every week I would give the same theme. So like this was a favorite, but maybe I'll flip through this one day. This was like a spread I did for Holy Week. Well, this was just for Holy Saturday. This was just Holy Saturday, and I painted this whole page black and wrote on it with white marker, "Oh Death, where is your sting?" And then Pascha, I loved my Pascha day. Woo! And then I did for Bright Week, I did kind of like a rainbow theme. So I loved the creativity, and I just filled it in. And if I needed more, I did 1 page a day. And I planned, like, if there was an event or something that day, I would write it down. Like, my husband only worked a couple hours that day, so I wrote down that he was going to be home early. So I did like plan in it, hair appointment at 9, but like I journal too. And sometimes it was just personal journaling. Sometimes it was spiritual journaling. It was a journal planner, a planner journal. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. If I needed more room, because like I said, each day had its own day. The only spread I gave the same was Holy Saturday and Sunday. But if I needed, I guess all of Holy Week was kind of like this, because this is Holy Monday. Oh, cool. Yeah, I did. All right, neat. But like I just would tape in an extra page if I needed to write something extra. And I used stickers in it. I used watercolor. I used acrylics. It was just so fun. And this was my first spread on it, and I loved it. My friend, my priest's wife, she is Russian, and she gets these little Russian candies, and she gave me this one, and I just loved the image on there. It's just so beautiful, and it screamed Valentine's to me. And so I ripped up some scrapbook paper, and I loved it. And it was the best. This was probably one of the best creative outlets I've had in a while. And it was also pretty and practical and fun and creative. And it served its purposes. It helped me grow spiritually. And I just loved it. I saved pages in it for like our pre-Lenten retreat and our monastery trip that we did in May. We went to 2 monasteries this year. So, and this, like I watercolored this doily, and I used it to like write some things down at like a to-do list. I just loved it. And some days, of course, I wrote more than others, but I loved it. And I didn't care if it wasn't perfect looking. It was just perfect. And I love how like chunky and messy it looks, and I just love it so much. And I decided, with my husband's help, because he's the one who always talks sense into me, that I want to do that again. Now for homeschool, I'm just keeping it really simple. I have this moleskin 8.5 by 11 lined notebook that it's been sitting around on my shelf forever, blank. And I'm just using it to write down like little notes for certain things, like to help me kind of plan out my little terms or sessions or whatever, because I do want to kind of go along with the church year, and I want some sense of planning, but I guess what I mean is, from an academic perspective, I kind of want there to be, I want to know where I'm going for his sake. So this is its own thing. But I made another one. I made another one just the other day. I got this picture off of like iStock photos or whatever. It's just a stock photo of an Orthodox woman praying, and I just love it. I love how she looks, and I have this section. I want to say it's in the liturgy and the Vespers, but asking that the whole day, I don't have my glasses on and I don't remember it by heart because I'm lame. Asking that the whole day may be perfect, holy, peaceful, and sinless. Let us commend ourselves and each other and all our lives unto Christ our God. And then it's going to be today through, well, technically yesterday, but today through Forgiveness Sunday 2022. And so it's perfect because I really also want to live my life in the rhythm of the Orthodox Church, in the seasons, the ebb and flow of the Orthodox Church year. And this is perfect to me because then I can have one that's designated just to Lent and maybe Bright Week. And then I can have one for the Paschal season. And anyway, I love it. This is how I want to do it. And so it's only about 2 months in here, but it's a day today. And I already, I wrote like my word for the year is Haven. I've done a word for the year since like 2015. I did a calendar for the month of January. And then I did like, today was like a little, just a little New Year's entry. And then, so Saturday and Sunday, I'm sorry, it's a 1 day spread, but so Saturday and Sunday each have their own day. Sunday will mainly just be homily notes and things, and Saturday is just a little bit simpler, but this is how I did my layout for my days, and I already decorated my first week. So I've just got, so each day, and this is why I can only fit 2 months in this one, each day is a whole 2-page spread. And the reason is I wanted this side for a bit more planning, especially because I wanted to be able to always record my thoughts or whatever about the daily readings, notes about the daily readings, maybe book notes I'm reading from my morning time, quiet time or whatever with the Lord, just reading books, praying, that kind of thing. Church, so this is like this box, this is the date. This is a church box. So I can put either, if there's church service that day, I can note the church service. If it's a particular feast day or a saint of the day or whatever, I can put that in this box. This is just to help me focus on the life of the church every day. Then I have my top 3 things I want to do each day. They can be church related, they can be but really just home related. Like I need to get, maybe I'm on the parish council, so like I'm the secretary, so I type up the notes. I need to type up the notes this week or whatever. I need to do my dishes. I need to clean off my table with homeschool curriculum, whatever it is. And then this was my homeschool section. Before I realized I might need I do think I need a little bit more planning space in homeschool, but I still wanted it to be simple, and so that's why I'm just using a notebook. This ideally, though, would just be a quick check-off list, like catechism, math, language, piano practice, whatever, and then cross it off so I know every day what we're doing or not doing. Then I have my daily readings, the epistle and the gospel, and I gave myself a decent amount of space to, if I want to write down a verse from the reading, if I want to write down thoughts from the reading or Orthodox Study Bible notes or quote from a saint on it or whatever, or the list, if there's a list of things, whatever it is, I want to, some verses list out character traits. And so if I want to make a list of those character traits or whatever, I can put that in that section. And then I just have this big chunk down here for notes. And then on the other side is just blank. It's kind of decorated. You can see I was trying to dry my watercolor with graph paper because that was what I had nearby to grab. And it left, and the lighting again is really bad, but it left its mark of the graph paper. So I was like, I love that. So I did that to all of this week. And I only decorate 1 week at a time, but I go through ahead of time and I decide. So then it takes me through Saturday, and all of that's the same theme. So this will be my journal page, and this will be my planning page, but it's just each day has its own spread. And then Saturday ends here, and then this will be Sunday. And so I take little sticky notes so that I mentally remember, like, one, while I'm planning out, so I know ahead of time before I do any artwork or anything, that way I know what pages are going to be for what. Or if I have something like we have our pre-Lent retreat that's going to be falling during this. And so I saved a couple pages in this for that. And so like pre-Lent retreat right there. And then in the back, I set aside, what else did I do? I'm trying to think. I feel like, I'm going to put some calendars. I'm going to put some calendars in the back so that if I do get a plan, maybe there's something coming up in June, like a doctor's appointment or whatever, I can make a note of that so that then when I make my next book, I can look in the back of this, kind of like what I did with this one, and be like, oh, okay, I've got these things coming up. So then I just transfer whatever these are to the next one. So that way I am still kind of planning and it's being written down, but it's not in this big planner. I don't know. I just love that it's one day at a time. That's what I love. And so I decorate a week at a time. Every now and then I might, if I have some extra time, I might decorate. At least this is what I did with my previous one. And I would decorate a couple weeks at a time or whatever. But I'm so happy with this. I did not decorate the back cover. Last time I did decorate the back cover. This time I've had a happy planner. This one, I've had this happy planner, like deluxe cover case for a while. And I wanted to use it because I do like it. And this is a little bigger than a classic size happy planner. I can shove it in there. So I wasn't going to paint it. And I could cut down the back of it too. I know that will work because I've done that before with one of these in a happy planner deluxe cover. But I just didn't feel like doing it this time because, again, I kind of wanted to I want to be able to archive them later. And so I don't know. I did not decorate the back cover is all I'm saying. And I probably won't at this point. But yeah, I really love it. So again, not the best lighting, but that's what I'm going to be doing. And yeah, that's all I've got. So just kind of that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. I'm home again, which I'm very happy about. I'm home again. I am homeschooling again. And I'm just looking forward to a new season, a new year. It's not the new church year, but it is a new year. And so I do love this time of year. It feels new. I will say I felt a little down this week, if I'm being totally honest. Boys, if you're watching, close your ears. I am on my lady time. And I'm also just getting over a little bit of a cold. And I think I feel bad missing church this weekend just because I don't like, I hate that I didn't start the new year going to church or whatever. But anyway, it's okay. I think I'm a little overwhelmed from just a messy house and just so much trying to figure out so much over the last couple of weeks. But I feel like things are calm now, and I'm just really ready and excited to get going into this new season of life, being back at home and homeschooling my son again. So, and in a planning journal system that is tried and true for me, and I'm excited, and it's just a good creative outlet for me, and it helps me grow spiritually and personally, and also keep track of things. So it's great. All of that to say, I think this is 40 minutes now that I've been doing this, which I did not mean to go this long at all. I think I say that on every video. This one I really didn't, though. So, but it was good. It was good. It was kind of just talking to nobody but myself. But I guess it was kind of nice to get all that out there. So that's all I got. Happy New Year, and may it be a blessed one. And Christ is born. Glorify him. So we will, I'll pop back on here at another point in the future. All right. Have a good day. Bye.